First of all, I want to, pay respects to Coach Monken and Army West Point. I thought they played a heck of a football game. Give their kids credit. I mean, they fought to the end, and that was a great football game. And it just shows, like we always say, when we play each other, just throw out the records. And I thought those guys played really well. With that said, I was really proud of our team. We just, we kept hanging in there. Things looked bleak. But we got some resilient kids. And I'm so proud of our seniors, wonderful young men, wonderful team captains. Bernie and Keenan have led our team. And, like I said, they have great kids too. And our country's in good hands. With those kids going out to serve our country, there's some bad things happening in the world right now. But to know that those guys are going to go protect us, I think all of us here, can, sleep a little bit better knowing that we have guys that are going to go out there and may have to pay the ultimate sacrifice, but the selfless service of these young men. This is just a football game. It was hard fought, but there's a way more important battle happening, and I'm proud to be associated with these young men.
Questions? And you talked about the play of your defense, particularly in the second half, and forcing 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter.
I thought both defenses played well, but the turnovers were the key in the game, and we couldn't turn any of those turnovers into points. But to our defense's credit, they just kept playing hard. Dale Pearson, I mean, what a phenomenal year that guy's had in leading our defense. Hired 1 week into camp, and he just did a unbelievable job this whole year. And I thought our kids, like you said, Gene, I thought they played really well.
Coach, Army led at halftime for the first time since 2011. Was anything said at half? Your team came out on defense, a couple consecutive 3 and outs.
The seniors took over. Our leaders took over. Those are the guys that said stuff, and obviously coaches say things too, but when it comes from the players, it carries way more weight. I'm just an overweight guy that just stands in the middle of the field, but when those guys say stuff, there's some credence to what they say, and just the seniors took over.
Ken, what can you say about Keenan 4-0 against Army? First guy to do that. To me, a huge performance from him.
He played well. He played well. And, hats off to him. What a remarkable career. Fortunately, he's not over for us. He's got one more game. And I'm glad he came. He was that close to going to had a lightning bolt on his helmet. And those were some sleepless nights before we found out he was going to commit to come here. And I'm glad he came to Annapolis.
Talk about the third down. What do you guys have to work on for the next 1-2 weeks before you take on the Jets?
To be honest with you, I haven't even thought about that, man. Just trying to enjoy this. I haven't even thought about the bowl game. Are some kids in there just, laid everything on the line. And, obviously we got to continue to get better. But really haven't even thought about any other game. We're just going to enjoy this. I mean, these kids work hard. We're just going to enjoy this, John. I had no clue. I mean, I thought he was going to be a good player, but I had no clue he'd be this good. I mean, he surpassed anybody's thoughts of how good he was. And I guess if we had, we could kind of looking back at him, we played at Penn State, and he drove us right down the field as a freshman, first couple of times he's in there. And I wasn't smart enough to realize that, man, he should keep him in there. He's a good player, but had no clue he'd be this good. But John, more than that, he's been a great leader for our team. That's the biggest part. He's a good football player on the field, but off the field, he's been just a great leader for our team.
Coach, when you look at hidden yardage, there's a case you can make for your punter being the MVP.
Oh.
7 punts, 42.5 yard average.
He was phenomenal. And the scary thing is he was sick. He was sick all day yesterday, and in fact, I was trying to keep him away from everybody, because he had the bug. And in fact, he was on the bus, and I just want to say, make sure you don't get close to Keenan. Just don't breathe on Keenan. I was like, this poor kid, and he comes out here, and he, without him, we don't win the game. I mean, he played a phenomenal game.
Could have been your best coaching.
I had no clue what I was doing. It's just a guess.
Ken, how do you feel the guys kept their focus with all the BYU stuff kind of swirling around there?
That's them. This is about our seniors. This is about Keenan Reynolds, Bernie Serra, all of our seniors in this team. And I just want to explain why I did. I didn't want to be one of those guys that says, read my lips, I'm not going anywhere. And next thing you know, they see him on a plane somewhere, or they text their team, I've known coaches that take another job, they don't even tell the other coaches. I mean, how do you do that? How do you do that you're all involved. And as much as I didn't want to, I could not do this to those kids. I couldn't do it to them. I love these guys too much. We're a family. I mean, you don't do that to your family. Just take off and then, where's Coach Niumatalolo? I know I took some criticism for it, but I know it was the right thing to do.
Can you talk about the way how your defense closed out the game tonight?
Phenomenal. They played lights out, played a really, really good football game. And like I said, I couldn't be more proud of those guys. They played a really, really good football game.
Coach, on that wide receiver pass that you guys ended up getting that interception on, your defense was pretty stout there. The corners stayed back. Did you have the right defense on?
Well, there again, I got a young DB coach in Dan O'Brien, with Keith Jones, and taking over for a veteran coach and Buddy Green. And I tell you what, he's done a really good job with their secondary. And they played it well. They were ready for that. We were ready for some trick plays. We know that Jeff likes to call trick plays, and we tried our best to prepare for them.
Coach, you got a tough personal decision coming up. Does this make it that much tougher?
It's always been hard, man. Like I said, but this isn't about me. I love these kids. I had some other opportunities. Wasn't interested much into them. But this one was different because it's just who I am. It's my faith, and that's the only reason. It has nothing to do with Chet Gladchuk and the Naval Academy. These players been phenomenal, man. I've come to work 18 years, loving my job. I love to come to work. I've been here 18 years. Spent my life. My kids have grown up here. I've given everything for this program.
Talk about Tillman tonight. Talk about his play. Looks like him and Reynolds are like one of those tandems you might see in the NFL probably. Maybe one day.
We'll just, like you said, we'll take some time. They're good players, and we'll get ready for Pitt. But they're fun. They've been phenomenal for us. So.
Coach, from our point of view, it looked like Army was flowing to first movement all the time. When you threw past to Tillman, it would move and come back. Is that what you were seeing?
Well, they're active. They've always been aggressive against us, and we knew we had to throw the ball. And like I said, I'm not taking anything with it. They played well. I'll just take a couple more so you guys can talk to these guys.
How much does it really bother you that Keen's not going to be the Heisman Trophy? You said a lot of times, but at the end of the day, a lot of people thought he should be there. He's not. How much does that bother you?
We were all hurt. We were all waiting there, but he's a great kid, and I texted him, the next morning. We're all proud of him. If he finishes in the top 5, from the Naval Academy, you kidding me? I guarantee those other guys. Well, the workload academically that this guy's taking here, and some of the things he's done. To come from a service academy and be in the mix, what a phenomenal accomplishment. That's the way I've looked at it. And he's handled everything with such class and dignity. He could have been better. He's continued to come out with a great attitude. I just thought, what a great opportunity for the Heisman Trophy to do something in a time when there's a lot of bad things going on in our world. What a great time to do something for somebody. And it wasn't a token deal. He's got phenomenal numbers to back it up. So, but like I said, we're all proud of him.
Anything else for Coach? Coach, you won the turnover battle late in the game. You had 2 interceptions, you had the fumble recovery. Talk about the defense and how they did that.
Turnovers, we knew we had to win the turnover battle. Unfortunately, we got some from them, and this guy took care of the ball here. So thank you guys very much. I'll get out of here.
Keenan,
Keenan, you set so many records at the Navy and nationally. What is Coach Morneau being the only player for you?
That was the number one goal. At the end of the day, it's all about wins and losses, and to be able to come through here 4 years and have never lost to Army. That's huge. We get to go to the White House this year, get the trophy back. That was the number one goal for our senior. Not going to the conference championship, it hurt, but this was the one we wanted to get, we had to get, and we knew that losing this one would hurt a whole lot more.
Jamir, I asked you about.
It's Tez.
Hold
That's
on. We got
Tez.
Daiquan Thomasson, Keenan Reynolds, and Lorentez Barbour.
Light skin.
Daiquan and Lorentez had the 2 picks in the last in the fourth quarter and Keenan.
Keenan, can you talk a little bit just about the chemistry with Tillman that you had? I mean, early on, all your passes were kind of going to him. You guys seem to have a good chemistry going.
Yeah, having a guy like that and make plays, you just put it in his area. He's gonna go get it. He makes me look really good sometimes. Sometimes the balls aren't that great, and he makes plays. So, I got somebody, if I just get it in his area, let him make a play, he's going to make something happen. A couple of times I made some poor throws where I had him open, but, he continued to play. And, we worked a lot in the summer and the off season just trying to get that chemistry, and, it definitely paid off today.
Guys, can you talk a little about their defense? I mean, you guys had some big plays, but most of the year you guys just pick them up in 6 and 8 and 3 and take time off the clock. You weren't able to do that today. Was there something they were doing?
They had a great plan. I mean, they got 2 of the best inside backers we've seen all year, hands down. So, and they're really good against the option, and we knew that coming in. And their style up front, secondary, rather experienced. So, we made the plays when we needed to make them. It was a different type of game. You got to be able to adjust to the game. Maybe you're not going to be able to go 14 plays every time against every team you play. Maybe big plays is going to be the name of the game. And we were able to come up with a few, and that made the difference.
Keenan, how satisfying was it? I mean, obviously you got to win what you wanted, but to show the national audience that, you're one of the best players in the country and probably should be at the Heisman. How do you feel about that?
Coming in, my focus was just playing. Let everything kind of handle itself. Whether the whole Heisman deal, it is what it is. Good luck to the 3 there in New York. And, but my number 1 goal was winning, and now I get to stay here. Don't have to run on a chopper and rush. I get to stay here and celebrate with my teammates.
Did either of the 3 guys text you who were there tonight? Did either of the 3 guys text you and say, hey, we're fans? Because this is about the media for football players.
No, I don't have their numbers, nor do they have mine.
Lorentez, do you feel like when you got that first turnover, kind of the floodgates kind of opened, you got 3 of them, in the fourth quarter?
I think it was just a change of mindset for the defense. We came out somewhat flat. We put an emphasis on not getting too worked up, not letting the moment get to us, but that brought our intensity kind of low. And then at halftime, we just kind of rallied, and we made a point and an effort to bring more intensity into the game. And I think that just changed momentum, get the crowd into it, and then when you're confident like that, it's easier to make plays.
On that note, you come out the first series and send a message with that hit on the quarterback. Is that what you're talking about? Like, take that and send that along?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Defense, that's what it is. Big hits, get the crowd going, turnovers, get the crowd going. And then just your teammates. When you show that type of confidence and explosion on the field, they want to do the same thing. So I think bringing that energy helped us turn the tide and the momentum and worked out in the end.
Daiquan, when did you realize that was a double pass? You didn't get caught out of position.
Yeah, I was on the way over there actually to run to go try to tackle a guy. I was pretty far away, but I knew my coverage was stay deep, middle of the field. I checked out the corner of my eye and he was there. So I just kept dropping and let it get play.
Keenan, can you talk about your 2 touchdowns you had today?
What do you like specifically? What do you want me to talk about? Like just how they worked? Well, the first one was just we got in the right play. It was one of those instinct reads, reading the outside linebacker, and something just told me to pull it, and I pulled it, and they blocked it great. We got them caught in the best stunt for that particular play, and fortunately I didn't get ran down like I have in the past. But and then for the second one, we put together a pretty decent drive, 7 plays, 50 yards, and we just tried to finish. And get inside the 5-yard line, you have to score. You can't settle for field goals.
Lorentez, how did the team keep its focus with all that BYU stuff swirling around, Coach, there for the last couple of days?
1-0. That's our motto, and that's how we go about our business. We didn't let it affect us because regardless of what coach's decision is going to be, he loves us, we love him, and we play for our teammates. We play for each other. No matter what, the coaches are there to get us in the right place, get us in the right position, but between those white lines, it's on us. So we didn't really let that affect us. His decision is his decision. He's doing what's best for him, regardless of the outcome. And we got to play for each other, and that's how we go about it.
Keenan, can you talk a little bit of that coach's leadership and what he meant to the program during your 4 years?
Definitely, one of the best leaders I know. Taught me a lot about leadership. There's a lot of things that he does and has done that, I've put in my toolbox for, when I get out in the fleet. Definitely been an extension of family. My family raised me right 18 years. And, I know it's tough for them to let me go and kind of put me in the care of, another person. So Coach Niumatalolo, Coach Jasper, pretty much the whole staff have all been, extensions of family. And I've just learned a lot about life and about leadership from them.
Keenan, you mentioned that this was the goal, despite not getting to the conference championship a couple other things, this was the goal for the Army. Just what did it feel like once the game was over? You guys got to do the alma mater second, just continuing what you had done all this year.
It was immense relief. I mean, those guys played their tails off. I mean, they played out of their minds. I mean, I think the real difference was the turnovers. Us being able to come out with no turnovers because we didn't play that well on offense. Defense, got some for us. We put them in some really tough spots late in the game. The last three minutes, they were in a position where they had to, make a stop to win the game, and they came up big for us. So it's always nice to put it in their hands, and have a defense that can, hold tight and kind of prop us up when we weren't really playing well in the fourth quarter. And they came out second half, from the jump playing on fire. So.
Keenan, do you think about all the records that you set here, or is that something, when you're done, you can look back and reflect on?
Definitely when I'm done. When I get to January, then I'll kick up and, turn my Twitter back on and read the articles and stuff. But, right now I'm focused on the present. When you start looking in your rear view, we start, doing a lot of this. That's when you start, making a lot of mistakes and playing poor.
Daiquan, specifically, what about Keenan's leadership? You guys get missed next year. How do you impact Keenan's on this place? What does he bring to the really get missed that not a lot of people know about?
Well, I'm going to miss high. He's such a vocal leader. He leads by example, too. I talked about it in the other interview, I see Keenan getting extra work every day, doing the right thing, the small things, correcting people here and there. You got a leader like that, it's really, you can take that stuff in for yourself, and you can start to do it yourself. And I think that's what we're going to miss most.
Any other questions for these three? All right, thanks, guys. Now, Will Anthony and Jamir Tillman.
Can you talk about the 2 sacks in a row?
I just didn't want to lose. I just had that thought in my mind the entire game, and I just knew if I couldn't do something, like our guys would do something, but I was just giving it everything I had.
What did you all change at half? I mean, what happened defensively at halftime? Because you played so much better in the second half. Was there adjustments made?
Yeah, well, honestly, I think it was just the mentality because I feel like a lot of us came out thinking that we were going to play and just win the game real easily. And second half, they came out, our coaches came out and told us, like, you didn't show up for this game mentally. And that really stuck with me because I thought about the loss, and I was like, I don't want to be the 1 in 14,
Jamir, did you think you'd be able to hit some big plays against the secondary? How much part was that the game plan going in?
Well, I think from the jump, first play they told us it was going to be an X hitch, so I knew the ball was going to get in my hands early on. I had to make plays when the opportunity was presented. Luckily, I did sometimes, and there's other opportunities I missed, but overall, I just think we did a good job.
Coach Ken mentioned that at halftime the seniors kind of took over. What was the locker room feeling like? What was said in the locker room? Any specific guys step up to say something?
One guy who I always look up at is during halftime is Bernie, and Bernie, he's not only a vocal leader, he leads by example, and that man was playing his heart out the entire game. And when you have somebody like that speaking to you at halftime, it really clicks with you. And I know, like, my mentality was completely different in the second half.
Any other questions for these two? All right, thanks, guys.
Balls in the air on your touchdown. What's going through your mind?
Well, we ran a similar play, so I was like, okay, I had to make sure this guy doesn't pick the ball off this time. So the ball's in the air. I'm like, okay, I've ran this play before. Let's do it how I did in practice. So every time I catch the ball in practice, I'm gonna go score. So you practice how you play, and it turned out to be a touchdown just like it is in practice.
All right, thanks, guys.